It's a definitive hit. Just the images and the ineptitude of some of the people that were running the show on that cruise, that's going to be out there every single day for the next few weeks. But longer term, this is a rarity. It doesn't happen very often. The cruise lines have recovered before. They will market themselves as best as possible going forward, and they have that other thing that they can do, and that's lower prices to bring people in. So I think the industry will be fine. It's just going to take a little bit while to get past this.
That's what they do in airlines too, right? They lower prices, special fares, incentives. Will it work?
It's an important question because it's really tough to come up off the mat when you're this kind of an accident. You get to compare it to the sinking of the Titanic. That's a dark cloud that will hang. I tend to agree with Gary's saying, but it tends to really enact a very dark cloud that hangs over the company for some time to get away from this image that's going to be out there in the media for a long time, I think. And, 4 out of 10 Carnival cruise bookings come out of Europe. They were hoping to get bigger via this acquisition. But what happens when you get bigger, you get undisciplined. We saw it with Circuit City. We see it with a number of other companies. As they push to get bigger, they tend to try to cut costs too. And the question is, did they have the appropriate crew? And then were the proper communications given to the passengers? Passengers are going to be reading what exactly was told to them, facts and untruths about what was happening during the hours that this ship ran aground.
Francis, there's obviously a lot of investigating that has to be done here, but I'm wondering, we all know that Europe has seen a lot of countries' debt downgraded. We all know that on paper, at least, they could ostensibly be poor. So the idea for many of them to take cruises, I think 90+% of the passengers were from Europe. Would that affect the industry itself far more than this particular incident?
Oh, yes, I think so, because it's definitely a luxury. I think this is a really tough time to have this accident happen, because I think that if people were on the verge, maybe this will turn them away. And I think, of course, the economy, being in a liquidity crisis means a lot less for everybody to go around until that solution is actually put into place. I think the best that they can do now is put out as many positive facts, start spinning PR about, heroism, and discuss that there are risks. I mean, there are risks every time we get on an airplane, get on a cruise, get in a car. And I think specifics and what they're doing to recover it and how they're taking responsibility and how they're treating the victims and their families is going to help it pass as soon as possible. But the economy, I think, will make it take longer. What
do you think of the economy over there right now, Gary?
I think some areas in recession, if you notice, they're doing a TARP, they're doing a quantitative easing where they're printing money, so they're doing everything possible. No doubt the economy's hurt there, but I have to tell you, I went on a European cruise this past summer. The ships were packed, the ports were packed, everything looked pretty darn good in the midst of an economic crisis there. So I'm not so worried about the cruise industry. I think it's going to be just fine a few months from now. But as far as Europe's concerned overall, I give it one big giant blow right now, and they got to do some more things to get out of it.
All right. Of course, you left out the detail you were on one of those Silver Seas or private cruise hoity-toity type deals. Thanks, guys, very, very much. Meanwhile, how the heck did the New York Giants do the unthinkable?